A double dose of Fine Arts Friday this week. She's simply the best. And now a musical all about her life and legacy is making its way to the upstate. Tina, the Tina Turner musical, will be at the Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium for one night only. And joining me now is Jayna Elise, who plays Tina. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Okay, so for starters, can you talk about what Tina is all about?
Yeah, so I think this is a musical that everyone can enjoy, even if you don't know Tina's story, as it really tells, I think, a great story about her entire life, going from her as she was a little girl to when she was discovered to when she becomes the Tina that we know and love today. And of course, all of that amazing music lies within it.
Yes, and I mean, Tina Turner is such an icon for so many people. What does it mean for you to get to play her on stage?
You know, I grew up listening to classic rock, and so Tina Turner was a big staple, a big, huge name in my house. And it's just an honor to be able to step into this role every night. And I always say, as long as someone is touched by this story, by her story, in the audience, I think we've done our job.
Yes, and I've seen this musical before. It is amazing, and it does not shy away, though, from how hard Tina had it for so many years. Is that challenging for you to have to take on night after night? I mean, she was resilient.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because in the beginning, I was like, this is probably as hard as it gets to kind of deal with that subject matter. But I feel like as we do this for so long, those emotions can begin to linger. But I have really had such an amazing cast and crew that really checks in and really makes sure that everything is smooth sailing. And of course, I have to shout out my co-star, Sterling Baker McClary, who plays Ike. We have a really great relationship, and we always do everything safe so that we can really just tell the story.
I gotta say, last year when I saw it, I did not want to clap for Ike when the curtain call happened because I was like, no, he's just a good actor. He's just a good actor. But yes, I was like, dang. But I have to ask you too, what kind of stamina does it take for you? Because this role requires so much.
No, absolutely. I think when I first got the call that I, would even be considered for this role, I was like, well, I got a 24-hour fitness membership, and I was like, let me hit the elliptical. But seriously, I definitely train really, really hard to be able to do it. It's 3 hours, and I never really leave the stage. So.
Yeah, it is definitely impressive. And I know we've talked a lot about Tina, but I also want to talk about you. You have been performing for years, even a finalist for America's Got Talent and American Idol. So how do those two experiences help you in live theater like this?
Yeah, I think especially going back to American Idol, that was kind of a thing where we were singing every day, really building up that vocal stamina. And so I think, having that experience right before this one was really, really helpful because it was just like I was singing every day. There wasn't a moment where I really wasn't singing during that show. So that was something that was helpful.
Yeah, and speaking of singing, do you have a favorite song or moment that you perform in this show?
Yes. So recently, it's kind of evolved since we started in September, but I think I have really been enjoying "Private Dancer," which is one of Tina's more known songs as well. But I think also it's just a really fun song to kind of sing because it has this like low to like high kind of timbre, and she's really showing off in that song. She was the greatest, and so I think it's kind of fun to sing now.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you hope that people will take away from this show?
One of the things that people always say is that they leave the theater feeling inspired, and so I think that's just such an amazing feeling to have leaving a show because her life and her legacy really is inspiring.
And I gotta say, this show ends in such a fun way. You
Yes.
feel like you're at a Tina Turner concert. How fun is that for you to get to do every night?
That is like one of my favorite parts just because it also kind of takes me back to like my performing shell and it's really fun and the audience is up on their feet. And so yeah, I always say, don't get out of your seats yet. You don't want to miss that part. It really turns into a party.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's going to be a party here next week. Of course, thank you so much for joining us today. And if you are interested, Tina, the Tina Turner musical, is coming to the Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium next week. It will be here Wednesday. That's January 22nd at 7:30. We did check, and tickets are still available. So if you would like to grab those, you can head to our website, foxcarolina.com.